hit me with some sports. This is not quite 16 seconds of sports, but kind of. What is this? What are we doing?
No, we just have news. So your beloved New York Yankees made one of the biggest announcements that we can have in sports, especially like in a football offseason.
Mm-hmm.
You can have beards now as a
Mm-hmm.
Yankee. What are your thoughts?
Well-groomed beards, okay?
Well, yeah, of course.
None of
Yeah.
that Johnny Damon mega hippie shit he had going on back in the day. All right. Love this. Love this. This ruling has been in place for 49 years, put in place by George Steinbrenner. Steinbrenner, complicated character. There's a lot of things about Steinbrenner that weren't publicized that were great. He was generous in some ways. There's a lot of things we know that weren't great. As a lifelong New York Yankee fan, King George was someone I both hated, loathed, and loved, and that's kind of the relationship we had with him. But one of my least favorite things was this ruling. It came about when he just started taking over the team, and really wasn't the George that he would become. He was still this shipbuilder from Cleveland who bought the sports team, and he was a military guy. Remember, Steinbrenner's a military man, and he was watching players on the field line up on first base for the lineups before a game, and he just saw bushy mustaches and beards. And around this time, the Oakland A's, Charlie O's A's, were growing long hair. They were rebelling. We're a couple years removed from 1960s counterculture, and it was kind of connected with that. And Steinbrenner, a military man, put in the rule that only mustaches were allowed. And as we famously saw, Don Mattingly, sideburns, long hair, you had to trim it up. I think the New York Yankees made the right decision. Hal Steinbrenner made the right decision. It's ridiculous. I talk about resisting in my previous job as a security director. I was not allowed to have facial hair outside of a mustache. I did not want to do that. I would occasionally just grow goatees or beards. Van Dykes didn't care, and my bosses would show up. You can't do that. Okay, but it's here. They wouldn't make me go shave. And then I returned recently, and everyone on the security department has beards now. They're allowed now within reason. This was more than enough time. It's from Steinbrenner 49 years ago, but it's old school culture. It's 1950s bullshit. It is Johnny Unitas is the haircut you can set your watch to, the great Simpsons joke of all time. We don't need that anymore. It is silly. The idea that prim and proper and professional is tied to a clean face or a trimmed up neckline is bullshit. One of the other people that does this still is Rick Caruso. If you know Rick Caruso, the asshole who will probably once again run for mayor, and there's a better chance of him winning this time around, unfortunately, he runs a lot of properties, and there's when you are an employee, it's almost like a cult. They call it the Caruso way. There's 10 points of Caruso you have to memorize. And you can't have visible tattoos. You can't have hair beyond here. You can't have any facial hair. And it's all for this professional image. I understand you don't want people running around with long caveman hair and bear. I understand some standards. Other than that, it is bullshit. It is tied to conservatism, quite frankly, to bring politics straight into baseball. And it's outdated, and I'm celebrating. And I want them to have Steve, you got me going. You're just sitting there. You're like, I'm on camera with this crazy man. And my friend John Mariano, who may or may not be watching from Long Island, we talked about it this week. I want them to have an official public ceremony apologizing to Don Mattingly. I want them to bring Donnie Baseball out there. I know he's a coach with Toronto now. Put him and apologize for benching Don fucking Mattingly for having long sideburns. Stump Merrill. I'll never forget it, but it came from Steinbrenner, who was trying to get in his head. So I've been waiting for this for years, Steve. It's important for me. It's important for me to fight the man.
You don't say. Do you have a current Yankee that you're excited to see grow a beard, or is there another Yankee who you wish was a lot or was a Yankee during this time now?
Don Mattingly.
Well, I mean, other than that, obviously, I mean, that's like someone else.
I know
Mattingly.
I know. Yeah.
The picture with the beard, everyone thought that was really funny. All that.
Mattingly is my answer for everything. Okay, let's be honest. Right. Mattingly's my answer for everything. But he had the Donnie Baseball '80s mustache, which was of the time, but a nice, sensible beard. Jeter, Tino, that whole team, that whole era. But I want Garrett Cole to grow his beard back. He had to shave, and he shaved willingly. He knew, I'm a Yankee. That's what you do. I want that. I want to see Aaron Judge try to grow one because I bet he can't grow a good beard. I bet his beard is splotchy and Abe Lincoln like, where it's just it doesn't form up right. But I want him to try.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny to see the Yankees grow playoff beards if they do something like that, especially if you have someone like that who just has all the patchiness and the splotchies. That'll be funny. I want Yankees playoff beards. This will be fun.
Yankee playoff beard. I saw that news, and I mean, look, I play MLB The Show. All my Yankees have beards, and they look fine and proper and wonderful.
So speaking of beards, this inspired me to talk about or think about my top 5 favorite beards in sports. So I have a list.
Okay.
And so I want to go through. These are just my personal top 5s. I mean, I think these are probably pretty popular picks, but they're all fairly modern too. I mean,
Okay.
I wasn't around for the 70s and 80s as far as seeing sports live and appreciating those beards.
Yeah.
But these are producer Steve's top 5 favorite beards in sports. So I got some pictures for these, so we'll see how these pull up. So here we go. Number 5 is Ryan Fitzpatrick, your boy.
Yeah, Fitzmagic. Yes, indeed.
Fitzmagic. Yeah, I'm not particularly a huge Ryan Fitzpatrick fan, but he's got a great beard.
Same. I was not following the Dolphins as closely during this time, but I like the energy he brought. But yeah, it was all right.
All right, number 4, Brett Kiesel, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers. Yes,
He was a beast. This guy was amazing. Great beard. I mean, just look at that thing. Like,
yeah, no, that's a mountain man. That guy lives in a converted van in the off season. That's that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he wears flannel and he chops wood.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes.
that thing takes. There's so much more shampoo and conditioner going on down there than
yeah.
there is up here with him.
Yes,
It's wild.
absolutely.
No,
Which is
great
key.
beard.
Yeah, I saw in chat. Alan Smithy asked us, "Did we get beard dandruff?" Yeah, it's possible, but I wash it, conditioned as best I can.
Yeah, the problem with beards that long is when you're drinking or eating and just getting stuff all over it. So
Well, that and occasionally when I'm a little trimmed up these days, but sometimes it's happened on the live show because if it's off air, I scream bloody murder. But you'll take a sip of a soda can, and the little pop top will yank out a hair. And I know there's a lot of people in chat, a lot of women in chat probably going, "Oh, you poor baby, you sweet summer child." But I scream, "Fuck, God damn it!" every time it happens.
yeah, been there. All right, so number 3, Jason Worth.
Oh, Worth, yeah. Yeah, I like the Worth beard. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
This is a great beard. I mean, Jason Worth also looks like he may live outdoors or took like a retreat somewhere with Aaron Rodgers in a tent to do drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I love
Ayahuasca.
this.
The thing about Worth, I have to look at my soul in this one. Beard, great. And as someone who's had long hair, you got some long hair. I wish I could have long hair again in a jiffy. I'd put some on the top. I thought his long hair was a little bit too much. Like I thought it flaunted a little too much indiscretion for the rules. I have to look inside my soul and see what's wrong with me on that one.
I love Jason Worth's whole look, the flowing locks.
It's great.
the
No,
beard.
it's great. He's a great player too.
That was a good one. All right, so another one in
that was-
baseball. Oh, go
Okay.
ahead, please.
No, is that number? No, this is number
That
2.
was number 3. That was number 3.
Okay, this is number 2.
We're
Okay.
coming up on number 2. Number 2 is Brian Wilson.
Yes, I am still convinced that it's fake. I look at him now. I know there's probably some dye job going in there. What's fascinating about the Wilson thing is I remember him before the beard, right? Like I totally remember him before the beard, and then he shows here, and he was lights out. He was one of the big reasons the Giants had that mini dynasty run in the early 2010s. Look at that thing. And for those in the audio, go look up Brian Wilson, San Francisco Giants. That guy looks like he's in hiding from some sort of mafia people trying to cut him out because he ratted on him. That guy's in hiding. That's My Blue Heaven, the sequel, Steve Martin and Brian Wilson. I don't believe that beard for a second.
Yeah, no.
But
As soon as you
it's
said
real.
that you didn't think it was real, I was like, no, you're right. That looks like a prop. There's a strap on the back of that thing somewhere. I mean, he could hide things in that.
Yeah.
You could like. There's
Yes.
so much real estate. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Addie says it's fake beards from beginning men in tights. Yeah, it's definitely, but it's real. It's real. I think there's a clear dye job going in there, but it's real.
That's a lot of dye too. Think about
Yeah.
how much that's. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So from that monstrosity to a very well groomed beard, this is producer Steve's number 1 beard in sports. James Harden,
Harden's great.
the beard.
It's
I mean,
the beard. Okay. 8984M's happy with this answer. I know. Basketball. Yes, even I know that. I don't follow basketball, but I think he would have to be on your list or on the list.
Great
I
beard,
love that.
great player, great beard personality, all of it. I'm
Come.
surprised James Harden hasn't done more beard centric like commercialism type, commercials
You'd think.
or
You'd
things
think
like
he
that.
was he was in that
I bet
Super
he
Bowl
has a
one
hair
though.
product.
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet he has
the
a hair.
beard. Addie
The
says
beard, he is.
honorable mention Jason Kelsey. Yeah, I think that's a good one. For me, there's some uh, in the eight. Dan Fouts, San Diego Chargers. Eventual announcer Dan Fouts had a great beard, but it was like Dan Fouts and Richard Karn from Home Improvement looked the same. Like they had the same vibe. Dan Fouts' beard was a sensible history teacher beard, and I love that he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL while he had the beard. Obsessed with that beard. Another one I like from the '80s. He only did it for a little bit. Was Wade Boggs. I think it was like his '88 season or '87 season. He grew a beard, flaming red beard of Boggs, and I always just remember being obsessed with it. Like, wow, like you could do that, because I kind of thought baseball players had looks, right? Like Mattingly with the mustache. It's weird to see pictures of it shaved while he was playing, but like that was Mattingly's look. Like you just signed on, you had a look. Like Jesse Barfield looked like that. Wade Boggs had a mustache. Then he showed up with a beard. I was blown away as a kid. Love it.
Those are your top 5 beards, Yankee beards. We'll see what they look like this year. I thought that was worth calling in on Saturday. So
Absolutely.